What's up? We're talking about chord functions again. So we know that dominant function chords, which I'm going to abbreviate with D for now, their function is to pull us back to tonic chords. Obviously, we have the dominant chord and the tonic chord. Let's pretend we're in the key of C major because that's nice. So in the key of C major, I'd have G, B, D going to C, E, G. All right, might see that an octave lower. But we talked about that unstable, stable tone chart. Remember, it goes 1, 3, 5, 2, 6, 4, 7, I believe. Double check that real quick. Yep. So in the 5 chord, this is the 5th note of the scale, right? The 5th scale degree. These are scale degrees. Doop, doop, doop. Should have put those little hats on them. This is 5, this is 7, and this is 2. When we sing re, do, fa, mi, la, su, ti, do, this is what I'm talking about. T goes to do. Re goes to do. All right, these are pulling us toward the tonic. That's why this dominant has this strong pull. If I make this a 7th chord, this is the 4th degree of the scale. Fa wants to go down to mi. Again, more stability. 5 is going to hold, right? That's already in our chord up here. 5. So this is, we've got 3 unstable tones here, right? Two could go either way. I kind of think of it more on the unstable side. But this is our home base. This is where things pull to. When we have a chord progression, I realize you can't see that. When we have a chord progression, we are creating moments of tension and then resolution. Tension, resolution. That's what makes things interesting, right? If everything was consonant all the time, that'd be pretty boring, all right? So that's why we want to create some tension. And then resolve it, because then the resolution feels so much nicer. Why do I keep hitting my head against the wall? Because it feels so good when I stop, all right? But there is more than just dominant function and tonic function. In between, so let's say we're starting with a tonic function chord, because that's a nice place to start, right? Establish your home key. Before we go to dominant, let's see. There's my dominant. We could make it a little more interesting by putting a subdominant in here. This is kind of a bridge between your tonic and your dominant function chords. It's also like the dominant of the dominant kind of thing. All right, so here's my tonic chord. And there's a 4 chord. Took us somewhere else, but didn't quite create the tension that this one did, which pulls us back here. All right, so anytime you write an interesting chord progression, you're going to have some sort of tonic, probably subdominant, dominant, and then finally tonic again. So TSDT is our formula for interesting chord function. All right, we know that this is dominant and this is tonic, but if we take this thingy away, this also really still pulls toward that tonic chord. What would we call this chord? That's right, boys and girls, the 7 chord. All right. And then again, if we add the 7th to this, here's La, here's 6, that pulls even more, right? That's going to be a very, very strong pull to resolve to 1. We don't have that anymore. okay? So this would be even more tense than like a 5-7 chord. So you can go 5, 5, 7, and then 7, fully diminished 7, going to 1. That would create more and more tension. So here's my 1 chord. And then here is my 5 chord. And then if I add the 7th, and then if I change it into a leading tone chord, did I do that right? Oh, it's half diminished because we're in major. All right, not quite as strong, but pulling back to 1. Our subdominant chord would be our 4 chord. So in the key of C, that'd be F, F, A, C. This is scale degree 4 and 6 and 1. All right, 4, 6, and 1 here. A bit unstable, right? But this is the most stable. So it's kind of grounding us here, even though we have these 2 unstable tones here. It kind of balances out. It's medium, right? It's a bridge between stability and instability. We could also have this, which would be our 2 chord, right? That is also a subdominant chord. I'm going to erase these guys because it's starting to get messy. So in your subdominant family, you can have a 2 chord or a 4 chord. Dominant's going to be a 5 chord or a 7 chord, a leading tone chord. And then tonic, actually, believe it or not, if we come back over here, this is your 6. Your 6 chord is actually a member of the tonic family. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but deceptive cadences end on a 6. And rather than going here, it's going to go here. Nope, excuse me. Here. That's the 6. In this case, it should be minor because we're in a major key. There's my 4 chord, or I could go, here's my 2 chord, and then maybe to diminished, and then maybe to a 6 chord. But then we always want to go back to where we expect it to go. Our ear wants to pull us back here to our authentic cadence, or it could be a plagal cadence. If you skip dominant altogether, which you can do, you have 4 going to 1. That's your plagal cadence. Remember that one? P-L-A-G-A-L, plagal cadence. Okay, so that's your chord function in totality kind of summary. But Mrs. Sabato, what about the 3 chord? We're not going to use the 3 chord in this class, okay? This is forever now, he who shall not be named, okay? Do not use the 3 chord in either major or minor, all right? Cool, bye.